The first technical tool that we're going to be looking at is called the bar chart. Now, the bar chart keeps a record of the performance of a share as follows. Time is always shown on the horizontal axis, and the price of the share is shown on the vertical axis. Now, let's take a very simple example of a share that trades between 10 and 40 cents. And let's assume that on Monday, the share price opens at 10 cents and trades up to 20 cents. That means that we would draw a bar connecting those two prices between 10 and 20 cents. If the share price at the end of the day closes at 20 cents, then we draw a tick at the top of the bar to indicate the closing price. So what we have here is the range of trading as well as the closing price on one bar. If on Tuesday of that same week, the share price opens at 30 cents, trades up to 40 cents, and closes at 35 cents, then we have a bar that contains the tick directly in the middle. What we also have, which is noteworthy, is that there's a gap between where the share price closed on Monday and where the share price opens on Tuesday. And that gap is very bullish. In other words, it indicates that the market is so anxious to get hold of the share that they've pushed the share price above the closing level of the previous day. What's also bullish is where the tick on the bar is at the top of its trading range. And if one sees a series of ticks which are at the top of each of its bars, it indicates that the market is closing at the highest possible point at the end of each trading day. What sometimes happens is that on a particular day there's an enormous range of trading. For example, a share price may trade right down from 15 cents to 40 cents. And it may close somewhere in the middle of that trading range, and that's very often referred to as being a key reversal day. The wide range of trading indicates that there's uncertainty in the markets and that there are many buyers and sellers coming in at different prices, and there's indecision as to whether the price is going to go up or going to come down. And very often, that key reversal day earmarks the end of a trend up or a trend down. It is a sign to the market that the market is reconsidering that trend, and the new trend may well be in place the following day. So the wide trading range is an indication of the uncertainty, particularly when the tick falls somewhere in the middle of that range of trading. Equally, on the Thursday, if the share price opens at 30, comes down to 20, and closes at 20, and on the Friday opens at 20 cents, closes at 10, that formation would be bearish in the sense that the share price is closing at the bottom of its trading range on each of those days. The bar chart then provides us with, in addition to the pricing system, it provides us as well with an understanding of the number of shares that were traded on that particular day. And that is shown at the bottom part of the bar chart by means of straight lines which indicate how much was traded or how many shares were traded. So if you see a particularly long line, you can read off against the scale the number of shares were traded for that particular day. A very short line would indicate that fewer shares were traded. And if there's no line at all, then that indicates that for that day, there was no movement in the share, no volume, no shares were traded. The relationship between the volume of shares or number of shares traded and the price, including the range of trading for that day, gives us a very powerful insight into the shares movements and into the interrelationship between numbers of shares and price of those shares. Because it stands to reason that if a share is very bullish and the market is chasing that share, it stands to reason that there should be a significant volume pattern underpinning that rise, where the smart money gets into the share early on, knowing that there's an opportunity. And the volume will reflect the fact that there are many investors taking advantage of the opportunity within that share. Let's now turn our attention to an actual bar chart of an actual share, and let's see some of these aspects in practice.